So with all that you have learned in the previous episodes of this series, what are you going to do with the knowledge you have acquired? Hi, I'm Ayotoye Isaac. Welcome to the part 4 of the book summary series on the book that is titled Conquer Barrenness. In today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the second part of the book. Make sure to watch the part 1, 2, and 3 so that you can have a full picture and a clearer understanding of today's video. Let's get straight into it. To conquer barrenness, having identified the obstacles that must be overcome, having identified what the challenge or the likely challenges are, what are the forces to engage? Now that you have made up your mind to fight barrenness out of your life, to kick it out of your life, knowing that it is not God's will for you, what are the forces to engage to bring about instant fruitfulness? Woman, what is that thing that you should begin to do so that you too will carry your own children, you too will carry your baby? I call it forces to engage. Forces to engage. Number 1 point on my list here is the force of kingdom service. Kingdom service. If you are a believer, it is important that as part of a show of love for God, you avail yourself, you make yourself available to serve God and His purposes. To serve God and His purposes through various means that is available to you. In your family, in the local church where you worship, in your place of work, in the different groups and fellowship you belong to in your community, you should be an active participant in the activities of the kingdom. Serve tirelessly, serve faithfully, serve sacrificially. Give yourself, your time, your energy to kingdom service. I believe that is clear enough. Now there is prayer. What is another thing that you should do? Another force that you have to engage? Prayer. Prayer, yes, prayer. Not prayer from a place of fear, not prayer from a place of a beggar, but a prayer of supplication to God and a prayer of decree. You pray and you decree over yourself, you decree over the organs of your body, your organs of reproduction, and you speak to them and tell them to carry out the function, the biological function that they were meant and designed to carry out. You speak to those organs, they can hear you. They can hear you. You speak to your own organs to carry out their divine, their original purposes. They are not there for fashion. No, they are not there for fashion, not when you need them to produce. You speak to your organs and demand from them to produce, to function properly, while you also communicate with the Father to empower you on every side. So pray unto God, take it to God, take your desire to God. Make it a request before God. Don't assume, not lamentation that God, can't you see me? Can't you see my other needs? No, that is not prayer. Pray word-based prayer. Pray with scriptures. Take the promises of God before Him and request of Him, demand of God to bring to pass His promises in your life. His promises that you are to be fruitful and not barren and not have miscarriage. Take that to Him and let Him respond accordingly. Another very important force to engage when trusting God for the fruit of the womb, especially as led by the Holy Spirit. And every believer should be yielded to the leading of the Holy Spirit. Every believer should be yielded to the leading of the Holy Spirit, because that alone can make all the difference in our efforts, in our labor to achieve anything whatsoever in the kingdom. Because the Holy Spirit is able to guide you accurately as to what is required of you per time. It is not every time that you should be trying this, trying that, trying this, trying that. No. For sake of efficiency, for sake of you being able to maximize the limited resources you have at your disposal, both time, money, and everything, it matters that you walk by the leading of the Holy Spirit to achieve the different things that you set out to achieve. Because usually there is a commandment, there's an instruction that when you yield yourself to, when you obey, it unlocks that door that needs to be opened to you. And not until you have tried and done many other things that are not needed, that are not requested of you, before you now finally just try by way of trial and error. You now do something and then you have a breakthrough. No, you should be guided towards, we should seek to be guided towards the breakthrough that we desire as believers. So, as led by the Holy Spirit, be committed to sowing seed. So it is one thing that you sow seed, sow financial seeds generally into the work of God, into the lives of people, being a person of charity, being a giver, a consistent giver, a sacrificial giver. And it is another thing that at a season of your life where you are trusting God for the fruit of the womb, maybe more children, or you are even trusting God for a child for the first time, and maybe it seems not to be forthcoming. You sow a financial seed with that desire in mind, with that desire of a child, of conceiving and having, whether it is twins you want, it is triplets you want. You sow a financial seed in that regard. So as led by the Holy Spirit, this is a powerful force that you can engage to bring about fruitfulness. Also very important and usually neglected is consistent praise and thanksgiving. Consistent praise and thanksgiving is usually something that many of us as believers have not yet become acquainted with. Consistent praise and thanksgiving is important and powerful. It is a tool that can make all the difference when that is all that is required of you. And usually, having done all, these are one of those things that you must continue to engage. Praise and thanksgiving. Praise and thanksgiving. Yes, I know you are trusting God for a child even after many years, but the only reason why that is still top on your priority, why you can still go to God every time, and that is the case, first thing you present before God, honestly speaking, it is because you are still in your matrimonial home. What am I trying to say? Others have been married like you, married before you, married after you, but they are back to being divorced, they are back to being single because for one reason or the other, their marriage, that union, has been dissolved. They are separated, the relationship is scattered. So that you are still with your husband, that you are still married, is something to be grateful to God for. It is something to give thanks for. Because if that were not the case, you would be asking for a child outside of marriage. So, while you are trusting God, and this applies to every other area of our lives, while you are trusting God for that breakthrough, for that promise to be fulfilled. The things that are working, the things that are already sure, that are already certain and visible in your life, you should daily show gratitude for it. You sleep, you wake up every morning healthy and strong. You should be daily grateful. You should daily show gratitude for it. So consistent praise and thanksgiving, that although you are shedding tears before the Lord, you are weeping in your heart, but at the same time you make sure that your lips and even your heart look unto God in thankfulness, in praises for all that he has done and for what he will still do. Because if you have confidence in him, you know that although as of today, as of now, the physical reality is as though God has not heard you. It's as though you don't know when you will finally receive that breakthrough. You don't know when you finally conceive. You don't know when you finally have that child that had been shown to you even in your dream, in your encounters. The physical reality today seems so, but you know that God can be trusted. You know that his word will never fail. So it means that what? Ultimately, it's only a question of time. He will fulfill his promise. He will fulfill it and he will not come late. So while you await the fulfillment of that promise, why not confidently and joyfully give thanks to him, knowing that eventually, you will still be singing and dancing to him with that child, with that breakthrough in your hand, with that appointment letter in your hand, or whatever it is that you are trusting the Lord for. So learn to have that habit, that spirit of consistent gratitude, praise, thanksgiving to God. Appreciation, they say, is application for more. So sometimes when you go before the Lord, just giving thanks, just appreciating him, he knows what he is yet to do in your life and that he had promised to do. He knows them all, so you can be rest assured that you will not leave his presence empty after a genuine, heartfelt praise and thanksgiving. And one last point I have here is what I call the joy factor. By all means, listen to this. By all means, make sure you are joyful as a woman. By all means, it's very, very important. It's very important. A state of joy allows for the right kind of climate where angels can move freely and come and deliver the messages given to them from heaven. So, and I mean both the angels of heaven and human angels. So, when you make it a habit to cultivate joy, you choose to be joyful, you deliberately and intentionally choose to be joyful, regardless what other people expect from you, regardless even your internal feelings. The spirit may be willing, but the flesh is weak. Regardless the weaknesses of the flesh, where you have become emotional and tired and quite discouraged over the issue, you still make sure that your spirit is joyful and that spirit overrules your emotions. And you know the good thing, it is with that joy that you draw what? From the well of salvation. So that joy is a strengthener, that if you must reach forth into your harvest, if you must take possession of that which is yours, you are going to need that joy. You are going to need it. You are going to need it. So joy is a tool. Joy is a necessity for the fulfillment of promises, including that of the fruit of the womb. So my dear sister, my dear woman, mother-to-be, in all you're getting, get and keep the joy of the Lord. Keep it with you at all times. Wear that joy, wear it on you. as a crown. Yes, wear the joy of the Lord like a crown. So constantly remind yourself of God's goodness, remind yourself of God's faithfulness, and stay active in joy. Be joyful, be joyful, be joyful, be joyful. Be glad and rejoice in the Lord. Congratulations to you. Your testimony awaits you. I can't wait to celebrate with you. I know that you have, by reason of this, taking out time to listen, to watch these videos, you have received a new strength to push further, and the wisdom and the knowledge, understanding needed to do the needful, so that you can see the fulfillment of your promises. Don't forget to pick up the book so that you can have proper, clearer understanding, and you can daily put to practice the instructions in the book. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Go now and be fruitful and carry your baby, as many as you have the capacity for. This book is available on Seller and other online stores as a soft copy for 10,000 naira only. Get your copy today.